Hi, I'm Chef Steve. Welcome to the Care Kitchen, where we cook with kindness. This program is brought to you by ComForCare and At Your Side. ComForCare and At Your Side provides personal care for people throughout the United States and Canada. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. It's Thanksgiving Day today, and we're going to do a special program today. And really, Thanksgiving, however you celebrate it, it's just a day that we can really give thanks. Whether you're used to celebrating it with a large family or with a small group or just by yourself, it's a time to reflect. It's a time to give thanks for all the great things that we have and another opportunity to have another great day of life and have some fun and, really concentrate on what we're here for. And that's to care for one another and to give thanks for all these great things that we have. And I like to express my feelings through the food that I cook, and cooking is such a wonderful way to express and show care and show love to others. And this dish that I'm going to do today, this is one of my favorites. It's a classic dish. I've been making this for many years. It is a traditional meal that I actually developed and came up with in my family, and then now it's been taken on and my son does it and other people in the family have made it. So it really became like sort of a family tradition in making this dish. So what I'm going to do is I've got an acorn squash here, and I'm going to stuff this acorn squash with a very nice mixture. I'll show you as we go. And then I'm going to pop it in the oven. Now I have done some advanced work in doing this recipe. And what I did was I took an acorn squash, and I've got another one right here. And what I did here is I just carved it out, carved the top off. So you see I have this top on the one I've already prepped. And hollow it out, take all the seeds out with a spoon, put the top back on, and then I put it in the oven with a little bit of water in the bottom of the pan for about 2 hours at 325, cooking very slow. So what I have is I have inside my acorn squash is all cooked, and I've got the cavity ready to go to fill. So what I'm going to do is fill this with all my ingredients, stuff it in here, and then I'm going to bake it to heat everything up and get all the flavors blended, and that makes a delicious meal. Then we taste it, and it tastes wonderful. So let me tell you what I'm going to stuff this with. Okay, I've got my bowl here. So what I did was I sauteed celery and onions. Now you've seen me do this before as an ingredient for stuffing, so I did this in advance. So this is one of those great things that you can do in advance. And then when you put it together, it's really very quick and easy. Okay, so I've got my celery and onions all cooked here. And they're also all seasoned. So I've got poultry seasoning, salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and it just smells so wonderful too. Okay, so we want to put some of that in there. And I have some ground turkey, which I cooked up. And now I'm going to add some ground turkey in with my celery and onions and seasonings. We'll put some of that in there. And obviously we're going to have some leftovers. I'm going to do that other squash a little bit later, so I've got enough filling for this. Next, I have a blend here of brown rice and quinoa. Quinoa is a very nutritious grain, and brown rice, of course, is great. Now, so this is, as we're putting this together, we're creating something that has lots of good nutrition in it, tons of protein, but also great fiber and other nutrition from the fruits and vegetables we're putting in here, which I'm going to do next. Okay, So I've got some dried cranberries and raisins here. I'm going to put those in. And I've got some chopped walnuts here. We're going to put those in. So there's really a lot of great stuff in here. And I've got some dried apricots I'm going to put in there as well. Okay, so we're going to get that all in there. Okay, so we've got all of our grains in there. We've got our dried fruit. We've got our celery and onions and our seasonings, our turkey. And I'm going to put some fresh parsley in to give it a little freshness and a nice little color and extra nutritional value, of course, from the green leafy vegetable. And we'll just put a little bit of salt and pepper in here as well. Now, it looks to me like I've got far too much stuffing for one squash, which is okay because I got another one here. So whatever I don't use this time, I'll use next time. Okay, so now I'm going to blend all of these up, get this going. And we're just mixing all this up. You know, this is such a fun thing to do. And what I like to do, really on the day of Thanksgiving, I like to minimize as much as possible the amount of work that I have to do. Because, you know, there's many other things to do regarding, you know, setting up your table and getting everything ready and just feeling calm and, you know, no stress. So this way, I make this in advance. I'm putting it together. This is a fun activity anyway. This is a great activity also to share with somebody that you care for, to help with this process, to just be sort of interested in what you're doing and having conversation around some of these memories that come back, especially on a day like this on Thanksgiving. Okay, so I've got this all ready here, and it looks great. And just to test my seasonings and everything, I am going to just give this a little taste. Tastes great. Tastes great. Really delicious. And it's only going to get better when everything blends together inside of the squash. Just going to add a little bit of olive oil to this, just to give it a little bit of extra moistness. Now, of course, this is the kind of thing, too, that you can serve with a gravy if you like. It's got great flavors in it and lots of great nutrition. Okay, we're ready to stuff our squash now. So let's see how we can delicately get this done without making a huge mess, which is another thing that I always like to minimize, especially when I'm having people over or, you know, I don't want to have my place all messed up. So I try to clean as I go, and you've heard me say that many times, keeping things as organized as possible as I go. Okay, so we're filling this right on up. And as I said, I'm going to have a ton left over for my other squash. Okay, we're almost there. I think I can just get a little bit more in the top. And that is fully stuffed, and I have enough for my other squash left over. Okay. All right, so now this is all stuffed with our stuffing and ready to go in the oven. I'm going to put our little cap on top. And isn't that great? That's ready to go in the oven. And that is a stuffed acorn squash. It's got turkey. It has chopped nuts. It's got dried fruit. It's got brown rice. It's got parsley, celery, and onions. A lot of great flavors going on in there. And of course, the squash itself, when we scoop in there, we're going to get the squash coming out with that great filling. So this is really going to be delicious. Well, I'm going to pop this in the oven now. And then when it comes out, I'll be back and we'll check it out and we'll give it a taste. It's going to take about 45 minutes in the oven at this point. So I'm going to get it going in the oven and we'll be back in a little bit and we'll give it a taste. Okay, so we're back with our stuffed acorn squash. I just pulled it out of the oven and it's ready to go. You can see it right here. And it looks great. I am now going to put it on a plate. Let's see how we can remove it from the foil. It's kind of hot. One thing that you do gain over the time of cooking is it seems that you can handle hotter things. Okay, so we transferred that very simply over to our plate. And now this squash is stuffed acorn squash. Again, we've got our ground turkey, we've got our brown rice and quinoa, we've got dried fruits, cranberries and raisins, we've got dried apricots in there, we've got some chopped walnuts in there. It is really loaded with great nutrition and great flavor. I'm going to take the top off here. Let's put that aside and just dig in here a little bit and see what we've got. So this is really, really nice. So you see I'm going to take a little bit of the side of the squash and get that with it. That is absolutely delicious. I'll tell you, it's got all of the flavors of the season. It's got a little bit of sweetness from the dried fruits. It's loaded with nutrition, great fiber, great protein, everything nutrient dense. And of course, the squash itself adds that nice sort of starch, like a whipped vegetable, because it's real soft and it's really delicious and it blends so well with all the ingredients. This is probably enough for 2 people. So really, this is perfect for my wife and I. I'm going to make another one and we're just going to have a couple of people over and that'll be our meal. And it's really a great celebratory meal. Of course, we've got all kinds of other things to go along with it, salads and desserts and various things. But this is something unique for a holiday tradition that is just so beautiful to make, a lot of fun to make, and certainly looks attractive on your holiday table. So if you bring this out and put the little top on and put that down on the table, that's going to impress people. Well, I want to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. It's been such a pleasure being with you. I look forward to being with you again next week. We're going to do, through this next month, we're going to do some various holiday meals. Next week, I'm actually going to make latkes for Hanukkah. So that's holidays coming up. We're going to do that. Then we'll do some great Christmas dishes and various things through these next few weeks leading up to the holidays. We're going to have some great fun. I'm Chef Steve here in the Care Kitchen, where the main ingredient is kindness, and it's a pleasure to be with you. Thanks for spending time with me. I'll see you next time, and have a great, very happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Take care. Bye.